And so it looks like Camm and Nadia decided to rekindle their friendship and also possibly circle the block. And now they were recently set up on a blind date by K-Bone, which we'll get to in a second. And then they also popped out with these TikToks. So a lot of supporters are wondering exactly what's really going on here. All right, so now let's get into this video. Now, at first, it came across a little strange because it was like, okay, well, how is Nadia and Camm on a blind date? They know each other's voices. Well, unbeknownst to each other, they actually did not know they were in the same room with one another. And once she heard Camm's voice, she was not here for it, simply because she was actually excited about this blind date. All right, so now after Nadia got over the fact that she was on a blind date with Camm, they decided to have a sit down. So this was basically their sit down video in which they actually discussed a lot of things that happened between them. And they both ended up apologizing to one another. And now she apologized to Camm for making it seem like he was broke. And then Camm also apologized to her for speaking on her deceased child. And also in this video, Nadia lets it be known that she has a better relationship and chemistry with Camm versus Wuda. And then when asked whether or not they see each other getting back together, they both had no answer and just basically put it in God's hands. Basically like, hey, if it's meant to be, it will be. So now they both have decided to come back together to also do content. And now also in this video, Camm lets it be known that he has no intentions on doing content with anyone else, and also gives Nadia the heads up that yes, he does have a 20 versus 1. So that will be the last time you will see him with any other female outside of Nadia, which has supporters wondering, are they just friends or trying to work towards something more? And now, speaking of collabs, the topic of Lexi came up, and he was asked directly whether or not he was using Lexi as a rebound, whether he was using her to get Nadia jealous. Now, Camm admits that no, he was not using Lexi as a rebound, but he did need her for content. And then he also goes on to say that yes, Lexi was trying to get under Nadia's face. So now this is what I will say. I feel like Camm and Nadia honestly had the best chemistry. They got along really well in regards to just understanding each other. Now, of course, they had a toxic game of tit for tat, always trying to get under each other's skin. But aside from that, they really worked well together. Now, I know a lot of supporters feel a particular way about Nadia allowing Camm back in her space after what he did to her, which was exposing the fact that Nadia was pregnant at one time and lost her child. Now, he posted these photos of her in the hospital bed with a laughing emoji, and also claimed that this was yet another reason as to why he shouldn't have dealt with her. Now, what he did at that moment was absolutely disgusting, and I know a lot of supporters were upset with his actions. And now, when this entire situation happened between Nadia and Camm, a lot of supporters felt like, well, that was Nadia's business that Camm did not need to know about. They were only dating for a few months, and oh well, she did not tell him that she was pregnant at one time. And at that moment, I actually did agree with that. That was her personal business. But now let's go back to her relationship with Wuda. Now, when they fell out, Wuda exposed some audio of Nadia, and in this audio, Nadia admits that her and Camm had a pregnancy scare. And during this pregnancy scare, he understood that she was not willing to or believed in having an AB. So therefore, he was willing to step up and be there for her. Now, just imagine at this moment, he's probably preparing himself to actually be a father, possibly. Now, let's be honest here. This was the moment for Nadia to tell him. And now that we have this information, now that we know that they had their own situation going on with a pregnancy involved, that was the moment for Nadia to tell him that, hey, I've been here before, I've been pregnant, and this was my journey, and this is what happened to me. But she didn't. So now fast forward to where, you know, he gets this information in his DMs. He's shocked by it. So I feel like Camm acted irresponsible, irrational, and completely out of emotions. Now, I am not in a way, shape, or form defending his actions. But what I'm saying is that I now see it a little bit differently now. Now I do understand where the hurt on his end was coming from and why he lashed out. And I think Nadia understands that as well as to why she's willing to forgive him. I think she understands that his hurt came from a real place. And I think she knows that she should have told him, especially after them having their own pregnancy scare. All right, so now let's move on over to Benet, TJ, and KJ. Now they got into it this weekend, which led to all of them being exposed in some way, shape, or form. Now this got a little bit out of hand to the point now everyone is pulling back and claiming this was all a joke. But you know what? We'll get into all of that a little bit later. And now shout out to the Messy Maj page who first reported this story. And now they caught a live with Benet and Rod. And now in this live, Rod is talking about he wants to be hooked up with so-and-so. And then you have Benet talking about she has to get this person out of the way, which led supporters to assume that she was talking about Brooklyn King.
You always so-and-so. We can't run. I'm standing on business, nigga.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. Nah, I got you. I got you.
She capped out. Bro.
I
She
gotta make some shit shape. Like I gotta get that, you feel me, out of there.
Now, this also caused a back and forth in the Messy Maj comment section between KJ and Benet. Now, at first, Benet is claiming that she is not speaking about Brooklyn nor KJ and does not understand why KJ would assume that she is speaking about him. But then KJ comes out basically saying, well, listen, I saw, the text messages between you and Brooklyn basically trying to put her onto someone else or trying to let her know that I'm doing her dirty. So apparently KJ saw some text messages in Brooklyn's phone from Benet. Now, whether or not he went through her phone or if Brooklyn actually showed KJ her phone is still up for debate. But bottom line is he saw some text messages between them two and he's not happy about it. So now this situation led to KJ and TJ jumping on IG Live, making a lot of accusations towards Benet while they were drunk. Now fast forward to yesterday afternoon in which KJ and TJ jumped back online due to a post on Messy Maj page, which was basically an old video, which you have a female friend putting her arm on KJ. And now he jumps in the comment section and basically says that this is nothing. And TJ also jumps on IG Live and let it be known that this video is old and nothing is going on. So now while on live, KJ believes that Benet is the one that sent this information over to the Messy Maj page, in which she later then denies. KJ also goes on to claim that Benet be lying in all of her hot seat videos, truth or drinks, or anything that has like a Q&A where she has to answer questions about who she's dealing with. Apparently, she's been dealing with TJ. Now, he also points out the fact that Debo was very valid in his feelings because Benet had been messing around with TJ. He also goes on to say that Benet also was apparently using Debo to stay on the show. Now, in the middle of their IG Live, Benet jumped on her own IG Live and she basically wanted to clear up her name regarding everything that they were saying about her. Now, this turned into a big back and forth. Now, she also claims that she had already gotten invited to Influencer City before she even dealt with Debo. She also goes on to say that, listen, she's going to be there for her friend if her friend asks for information or her friend asks, hey, have you heard anything about my guy? And that's all she was doing. Now, they wind up joining a live with Messy Maj in which he's trying to get to the bottom of things. Now, it was also exposed that Benet had some dealings with Too Rare. Apparently, they were flirting. And now, Benet does not see an issue with what she did in regards to giving Brooklyn the heads up on whatever she felt like KJ was doing behind her back, simply because KJ apparently told TJ about some things regarding Benet and Too Rare, caused an issue between Benet and TJ. And now during this live, as I said, they were going back and forth. Now they got to a point where they realized that they both have a lot of tea on each other that they do not want exposed. So they wind up kind of low-key brushing this under the rug and now claiming that this was all just a prank, a joke, and they were trolling. Yeah, a lot of supporters are not buying this and they all feel like, listen, they're all a little bit too scared to get their tea exposed. So therefore, they're just trying to clean the situation up because it has gotten out of hand. So now also keep in mind that Brooklyn King is sitting there throughout this entire situation, allowing them to go back and forth, allowing KJ to say all these things about Benet and Benet to say all these things about KJ while she sits right in the middle and saying absolutely nothing. So now what do y'all think about this entire situation? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do y'all feel like they were trolling or do you believe that this is a situation that's real but they're just too scared of all their secrets coming out? And also, how do you feel about now finding out that Benet and TJ that were claiming to be just friends actually were dealing with each other on the low? Alright guys, well that's all I got for this video, so I will catch you next time with some more scoops. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks!